someone that most people know of. But it's interesting because she doesn't have a huge catalog yet. Rita Ora, man, Phoenix, and I guess maybe this is Phoenix because she's rising from a 6-year hiatus to turn
Yeah.
back to music. Reading, I'm aware of who she is, but I wanted to read a little bit more about into all the things that she does, and I was a little underwhelmed. I mean, she's a designer, she's a model, she's an actor. She's hosted or been a judge on a lot of reality shows, which is pretty, I think, surprising based on a very short resume at this point. And it seems like more than anything, she's famous for being famous. Her first album, Aura, was released in the UK and rose to #1, was a huge hit over there. But that was 2012, and I'm not really sure what Rita Ora's done since, for her to be as big as she is in 2018. But she's a legit star. And I'm wondering, does Phoenix propel her further into stardom, or does this kind of it's just an album?
Good question. I think we'll get to that question in a second. But I think you just nailed it. She's just like a famous person who's like, nebulously a singer, It's
Right.
weird. I kind of, as I was listening to the album, I'm like, not because nothing to do with the way they actually sing or make music, but her career is very similar to me as Tinashe, right? Someone whose music,
Good
at least
call.
in the United States, didn't really pop, but someone who's popping on social media, is at all the socialite things, goes to famous, Harper's Bazaar, Met Gala, all that. They're in that circle, right? And yet the music isn't really there. And I think Tinashe is a much better artist than Rita Ora, but I think the comparison makes sense. And I mean, since then, what she played, I think she was Christian Grey's mom in the 50 Shades movies. Right?
His sister, not his mom.
Oh, his sister. God, I thought it was his mom the whole time, and I always thought that was weird. So I'm glad that was cleared up for me. Because okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I just she's never really launched over here, and we've seen a lot of UK artists be very successful over in the UK and take a while to pop over here. Dua Lipa,
Little Mix,
massive, took a while. Then Little Mix took even longer to pop over here. And Rita Ora really never popped over here. What was her biggest song in the US? It was probably her feature on the Iggy song Black Widow. I think that's the biggest song she has here. And her biggest song overall is probably R.I.P. on that first album. But yeah, to get to this actual album, Phoenix, I think you look at that track listing and you see that song with Avicii, you see that Girls collab song with BB Rexa, Charlie XCX, and Cardi B, you see that 50 Shades soundtrack song with Liam Payne, you see that Rudimental single that just came out, and you realize this is not, there's no cohesion to this album. This is just a collection of songs Rita Ora put out to, for whatever reason, whether it's fill a label contract or do you want it to actually make the music, I don't know, but it's really scarce. There's not a lot of like new Rita Ora on this. A lot of songs that are originally hers, and I think you listen to the album and that kind of stands out that this is just an album to be charitable, not much else.
She ain't working, bro. Like, she's like, I guess I'll put a couple songs together. I've been recording some over the years. I just throw this out there, and I don't want to take away from her. She has a lot of a really great humanitarian stuff with her status, and for being a young person, I really give her a lot of credit for that. I do think there's some good songs in this, but as an album, I don't know if it works so well. It's the sort of thing where I think this is Migos throwing a bunch of different songs on their album to get those streams up. This is someone that just wanted to get this album out there, get those songs out there, and some of them are okay. I think that song with Avicii, it's very classic house Avicii. It's fine. It's enjoyable at points, but it's not something I'm gonna go back to all the time. You have some thoughts, I can see.
I just think that's like a clone of that Kygo Selena Gomez song from like a year or two ago. And the only note I had was vomit inducing. God, I thought that song was horrible.
I mean, the thing about those is that like they're all the same. Like it's all like eating vanilla ice cream or something like that. Like, okay, it's fine. Whatever. Right. Give me the better stuff. Was there anything about this album that you liked?
I thought Let You Love Me was decent. I thought Only Want You was good. And like and the weird thing is you listen to this album and like her sound is all over the place. There's no like identity to who Rita Ora is as a pop singer. I think she's just incredibly bland, similar to BB Rexa, who also released an album this year, And ultimately for someone who just had a 6-year gap between albums, I think that's pretty lame to not have any more of a musical identity after such a long layoff, personally. But the first song, Anywhere, what was that melody? Because as soon as I heard it, I recognized that melody as interpolating something, and I cannot place it. But I thought that was really catchy. I
I
feel
didn't find anything in the notes for the album, but
yeah.
it definitely was catchy. And I think I actually thought Anywhere was probably one of the songs I liked the most off this album. Mostly because of that breakdown. It's very produced, and actually, I think one of the interesting things about this is that she's working with this. I mean, there were a lot of different people that were producers on this, but Watt or Steve Wattman is the main one on it, and his story is kind of interesting because he really came up from NYU, performed with the Roots as a guitarist, started a band that with I think one of the people from it might have been like Def Leppard or something like that. It was like a very like strange like collaboration. And to choose him, I'm wondering how much work he actually has under his belt because I think it's a big name for him to work with and someone that will definitely propel him into more circles for pop production. But at the same time, this isn't a great look for an album because it's not, like you said, it's not cohesive. So it's an interesting thing to think about. I also noticed that a lot of her songs, and this might go back to the production with Watt, in like they had like these really like frantic parts where all of a sudden like the drums would really speed up and it would be like driving all of a sudden and then it would go to something more calm. And it was almost like a lot that if there was one through line, it was like this feeling of like franticness followed by like calmness or some I don't know, lesser speed to the song. And that was something I noticed a lot that I was kind of not sure if that was something they were going for. It just happened to be the way the songs were made. So Rita Ora doesn't seem to be high on our list of albums of the year.
Nah, that's a no for me, Doc.
So recap: JID, JID, very good. Rita Ora, yeah, interesting. Because we our little mix review. I was thinking back to it. Do you feel like we were a little harsh? You know, a week removed. Do you think we were a little harsh on Little Mix, considering what they were trying to do? Because Rita Ora has kind of broken through in a bigger way, but don't you feel like these albums are kind of similar in a sense?
Yeah, I think Little Mix, they're just better singers, you
Yeah,
know, and they have better people around them to help make better pop songs. But I think Album 5 is much better than Phoenix. I would,
yeah,
no doubt about that.
yeah. I'd agree with that. It really actually listening to this made me appreciate that album a little bit more. So that's why I was like, were we harsh on that? I can't tell.
Shout out the British ladies.